For my birthday in 2003, my wife gave me probably the best birthday present I ever received. Concert tickets to see Duran Duran live at the Entertainment Centre in Brisbane. And let me stress, this was the original 5-member lineup back together again just like they were in 1982, when they released their sophomore album and its title track as well, Rio. Now I'm outing myself here. In a previous episode I said the Smiths were one of my all-time favourite bands. And liking the Smiths has an air of indie cred to it. But Duran Duran, these guys are the glamour-soaked pop stars. All about the girls, the fashion, the glitzy music videos. And I loved everything about them. Darn it, I wanted to be them. So come with me as we dance upon the sand to another 80s song of the day. I don't know how a band like Duran Duran ever got together. You have a bass player who wants to be a funk superstar, a guitarist who wants to be in a heavy metal band, a computer nerd keyboard player, a vocalist who writes stream of consciousness poetry, and a drummer who frankly just seems bemused he's even in a band at all. Yet somehow these different musical inspirations and aspirations created a new wave pop behemoth that is still kicking butt 40 years later. Duran Duran was formed in Birmingham in 1978 by Nick Rhodes, born Nicholas James Bates, with his childhood friend John Taylor and art school friend Stephen Duffy. Duffy actually left the band shortly before they found success. He did go on to have a recording career of his own, but didn't achieve the same degree of fame that Duran Duran did. The foundational lineup, which persisted through most of the 80s, was Simon Le Bon on vocals, Nick Rhodes on keyboards, John Taylor on bass, Andy Taylor on guitar, and Roger Taylor on drums. No, not him. That's Roger Taylor, the drummer from Queen. Different guy. This Roger Taylor. Interestingly, none of the Taylor boys are related. I guess Taylor's just a common surname in Birmingham. The name Duran Duran came from Dr. Durand Durand, the villain in 60s epic sci-fi romp Barbarella, starring Jane Fonda.
Here in Sogo, I've learned truth and essence. I speak of the dignity, the nobility of pure evil.
But that's monstrous.
Yes, isn't it?
Signing with EMI, the band's self-titled first album was released in 1981 and saw immediate success with their first single, Planet Earth. Controversial video for their third single, Girls on Film, was designed to be played on video jukeboxes in nightclubs and was deliberately provocative to generate more talk about the band and their sensational videos.
Our manager at the time thought it'd be really cool to make a dead sexy video that all the boys wanted to see again and again and again, and it would be really good for Duran Duran.
Their second album, Rio, dropped in 1982 with specially commissioned cover art by iconic 80s illustrator Patrick Nagel. It is considered to be one of the greatest album covers of all time. The Nagel woman defined an entire genre of art style, minimalist yet sophisticated. Look, I could go on forever about Nagel, honestly, and those who know his work rank it alongside Lichtenstein and Warhol. This is purely my opinion, but the Rio album cover is the Mona Lisa of the 1980s. There, I said it. Rio entered the UK charts at number 4, an impressive start, peaked at number 2, and spent a respectable 110 weeks in the charts. It got to number 3 here in Australia. A slightly remixed version of the album was released in the US, and it spent 129 weeks in the Billboard Top LPs chart. It was kept afloat by 3 consecutive top 10 hits, Hungry Like the Wolf, Save a Prayer, and Song of the Day, the title track, Rio. The song starts with this jarring, discordant noise that resolves into an upbeat intro. and it was made by Nick Rhodes tossing some scrap metal onto the strings of a grand piano and then playing the sound clip backwards. See? Nerd. The video was filmed in Antigua in the Caribbean, where the band were actually on holidays after touring for a number of months. Rio had started getting high rotation on Australian radio of all places, but it was still lacking a music video. So the management flew out a crew to quickly record one.
And then after about 4 days there, we get a call from the management saying, no, don't come back to the UK, stay there. We're bringing Andy out, he's coming on a plane and we're bringing a film crew, we need a video for Rio, and it was really done like that.
Rio was directed by Aussie Russell Mulcahy, whose earliest work included the video for Video Killed the Radio Star, and he'd been working with Duran Duran since their first video for Planet Earth. Mulcahy has gone on to direct a number of feature films, most notably 1986's Highlander.
Never lose your temper. If your head comes away from your neck, it's over.
Duran Duran went on to record 16 studio albums, their most recent one in 2023. The band is still together today, but the lineup has changed slightly over the years. Roger and Andy both took time off and then returned at different stages. In 2022, Duran Duran were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. However, Andy was unable to attend. He had been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer 4 years prior, which prevented him from attending. Andy has stated that although his condition is not immediately life-threatening, it is incurable, and he seems to be focused on enjoying the time he has left with his family. So there you have it, Rio by Duran Duran. That's your 80s song of the day. I hope it put a cherry ice cream smile on your face, and you'll join me next week for another 80s song of the day.